Alright guys, so here's the review of the VanBanner LEA. So apparently LEA means grassland or meadow, so that might give you a clue what kind of style watch this is. But before we get down to it, I'll show you the packaging you get it in. So this tin box with the VanBanner kind of fake stamp on it almost. Quite like that, something a little bit different. And then we've got a cleaning cloth in here with the VanBanner branding. And then we've got the watch and also an extra strap that comes with it as well. There's a few different versions of this watch, different dial colours and a few little different designs, all of which will come with a leather strap. Again, the colours might vary depending on which one you go for. And you also get the mesh bracelet as well that comes on the watch originally. So every watch will have two straps, and we'll go over a bit more detail, just get all this out of the way. So here's the actual watch. And as I say, there are plenty of different dial colours, different alterations and bits and pieces. I'll try and show you a few on screen, but if you want to see all of them, link will be down in the description as always. So before we get into this, I'm just going to quickly say this is a watch that's going to be more likely to appeal to bigger guys, because some of the dimensions are on the larger side. We'll go over them now. We've got a diameter of 45mm, a thickness of 14.1, a lug width of 24, which is pretty unusual. And when it comes to the lug to lug, it's actually 52.4, but don't click off, because I have actually been wearing this on my 7-inch wrist, and as you can see, those lugs do drop down pretty quickly, so it doesn't wear as big as that would suggest. And I'll show you what it's like on wrist in a bit. Seeing it around here, let's talk about the actual case. So we've got a pretty interesting case finishing on this. So it is actually 316L, but it is a distressed kind of look they've given it. And we've got that VanBanner branding on the crown there that you can see. We've also got drilled lugs. So changing out the straps, because you do get two straps, should be easy. Oh, also as well, forgot to mention, with that leather strap, we have actually got quick release as well. Don't know why they didn't do it on the bracelet, only on the strap, but I guess it's nice to have it. And again, we've got drilled lugs anyway. And the hardware on that is also the distressed kind of look, so it matches the case. And then we've got some stitching there. We have also got VanBanner on the side, which I know might put some people off, but you don't really notice it too much when you're wearing it. It's fairly subtle. So I'll show you the strap on this one. So again, this is a stainless steel strap, but it is PVD coated in black. Again, got the LEA branding. So then we've got double pushers, just a pressed clasp. And then when it comes to the case back, we've got a screw down case back, text on it. So we've got 316L, Sapphire, NH35, VanBanner watch, and then LEA in the middle again. So when it comes to resizing this bracelet, it's pretty easy to do. So you've just got a little fold over here, and then you can just slide it along. And then you've got these little notches that it'll just sit in. And then you push it back down, and it's nice and secure. When it comes to the dial, it's quite a bit going on here. So we've actually got a sandwich dial, so there's a few different layers. So that centre section is sunk, and apparently it's got like a sand kind of effect to it. I can't quite see it, so it must be quite subtle. Maybe it'll show up on the macro, but you can't really see it with your naked eye. And then we've got the kind of sunburst almost effect on that blue section. And then you can see those indices are actually sunken onto the layer just below. And then we've got the interesting date window at 6 o'clock, showing the 3 numbers at once. Just a printed VanBanner logo. And then automatic 300 meter wall resistance. Then around the outside, we've got those applied indices, which are sitting in that train track, which is also slightly raised as well. So again, quite a lot of different heights and depths and layers going on there. I think it is quite interesting, but I understand that some people might think it's a bit too busy. Let me know what you think down in the comments though. When it comes to the hands, we've got a blue surround on these, but again that varies depending on what dial option you go for. And then we've got that red tip on that second hand going right up to the edge. So nice proportions on all those hands, and fairly simple finishing, but done well. So quickly zoom back out, I'll talk about how much this weighs. So you'd expect this to weigh quite a bit, with it being a larger than usual watch, but it's not quite as much as you'd expect. So on the bracelet, it's coming in at 178 grams, but then on the leather strap, it's 122. So if you want it lighter, perhaps you'd be better at going with a strap instead of this bracelet. I personally, though, have been wearing it mainly on this bracelet. I do think it suits the watch a bit better, but I'll show you what they're both like on wrist in a bit. Before we do that, though, let's check out whether we've got sapphire crystal on this, using the trusty diamond selector too. And yep, we've got sapphire crystal. We flick it over and check the back. And yep, we've also got sapphire on the back. So it is good that it's on both. You don't need to worry about it. So now let's go over this bezel. So it's a stainless steel bezel, again with that distressed finish, same as the case. So it's 120 click. Absolutely rock solid, no issues there. And it also lines up nicely as well. So no issues there with the bezel at all. But now let's talk about that movement. So it's the NH35. We've got screw down crown. Pop it out once. Change that date. Pop it out again. Second hand stops, you got hacking. Then you can change the time. Pop it back in. Second hand re-engages. Your hand winding. All works well. No issues, as you'd expect with the NH35. Nice crown as well. Nice and smooth. Nice and big, suiting the watch. So now, let's check out what the lume's like. So you can see we've got quite a bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a fair chance. And there we go. So, we've got a mixture of C3 and BGW9 on this, and we've got a lot of lume. The whole thing is pretty much covered, as you can tell. It does look really, really good. And I do quite like the contrast between the C3 and the BGW9. So we've got C3 on the indices and that train track and the numbers in the centre as well. And then we've got BGW9 on the hands and on the bezel. So initially it's really good on both, but eventually the C3 on the train track especially and on the indices will fade a little bit quicker. Those sunken numbers, because it's on the sandwich dial section, that will last a little bit longer, but again, not quite as long as the hands, which do last the longest, which obviously is what you want. The bezel actually hangs on a good amount of time too, but not quite as long as the hands. But overall, really good lume, no patchiness at all, nicely applied, and a really interesting lume profile, I think. Forgot to mention as well, we have actually got a lumed crown. Not really that useful, but a nice little bonus. Did actually miss this initially. I only noticed it after wearing it a couple of times. It is a nice little touch. So, you're probably wondering how much is all this going to cost you. So, it's about $220, which works out to about £180, about €202. So, too bad I don't think, for a pretty unique watch. It's got really good lume, some interesting design touches with that distressed case. Nice sandwich dial. And obviously if you're a bigger guy and you're looking for something a little bit different, this might fit the bill. If you're not though, and you do have an average size wrist like myself, just hang on a second and I'll show you what it's like. Firstly on this bracelet, then I'll also show you what it's like on the strap. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I said, despite that lug to lug measurement being quite a bit larger than the ideal 50 for my 7-inch wrist, because the lug's curved down quite a bit, it doesn't wear as large as you'd expect. yeah, I think it's probably right on the limit of what I'd wear personally. But if you're a bigger guy with a bigger than 7-inch wrist, this is probably going to be ideal for you. If you've got a smaller than 7-inch wrist, this one definitely isn't going to be for you though, because I think 7 is probably right on the limit. But it is an interesting piece nonetheless. A really lovely sandwich dial, a distressed stainless steel case. The bracelet is really nice, pretty much infinitely sizable, so you get the perfect fit. But I'll show you now what it's like on the leather strap that you also get included. And this is what it looks like on the leather strap that you also get. So that oversized distressed finish buckle suiting the watch with the larger dimensions. But as I say, I've been wearing it more on the mesh. The leather is nice and comfortable. I just personally don't think it suits the watch as well as the mesh bracelet. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you did pick up one of these, which would you be wearing it on more? And if this isn't your cup of tea, and you do like the VanBanner brand though, then perhaps you want to check out the review of this one. I've also got a couple of others. I'll probably leave a playlist down in the description, because I've got playlists for all the different watches and all the different brands I do. So check out the channel, you'll find them in the playlist section. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.